What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video. And today we're doing What If Naruto had Online Bijuu Episode 6, Act 1. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. About a month or so prior to the Akatsuki invasion, within one of Orochimaru's hideouts, Sasuke lays in his bed. He feels a chill in the air, and turns around to see Itachi stood there. His emotions begin to flow as he activates his Sharingan, ready to kill his brother, before realizing that what he's looking at is a genjutsu. Sasuke calms down, asking why Itachi is there, and the Uchiha explains. The Akatsuki are all going to invade the Leaf, and judging by Naruto's power, it's unlikely Itachi will make it out alive. If Sasuke still wants his revenge, he'll have to come to get it now. Once giving him the location of the Uchiha hideout, the genjutsu disappears, leaving Sasuke with his mission. For the most part, Sasuke's quest remains the same, except for the fight with Deidara not occurring. Still ends with Sasuke awakening his Mangekyo and wanting to destroy the Hidden Leaf. Obito tells Sasuke that he's in luck, he can join the Akatsuki, however Sasuke shuts that down. After the Akatsuki fail, I'll go on my own accord. Pain and Conan meet with Obito to begin to think of a battle plan as to how they can capture Naruto. Since Obito and Pain both know about the Yamanaka clan barrier around the village, they plan ahead for this by making sure everyone moves at the right time. They devise that Kakuzu, Kisame, Hidan, and Sasori come in from each side. From above, Deidara and Conan will attack. Pain will use the animal path to confuse the enemy with numbers. With their plan set, they tell the rest of the Akatsuki and move to execute it. Back in the Leaf, Naruto, Sai, and Jiraiya return and meet up with everyone there. Naruto immediately heads to the Hokage office and begins to be briefed on the situation in the Leaf by Tsunade. All the normal civilians have been moved to Sunagakure to avoid any casualties. Even so right now, only ninjas capable of fighting, or who chose to remain in the Leaf to help, are there. Also, the Kazekage alongside a squadron of Standard Leaf came to assist in the upcoming battle. The smartest minds of Konoha all meet up to begin thinking of a battle plan. They managed to come up with the best possible plan to keep the Akatsuki away from Naruto and ultimately take them down. The plan is for Naruto and Jiraiya to be placed in the center of the village with Anbu members nearby to help them and alert them to any attacks. There'd be 4 teams placed in each direction to keep any attacks on the ground at bay. There would also be a sky team led by Sai and Haku to make sure nothing comes from the air. Finally, there would be a tracking unit in the Leaf to make sure nothing slips past to avoid any surprises. Tsunade uses summoning jutsu and gives everyone a small chunk of Katsuyu to soon begin healing everyone. The medical corps go underground, feeding chakra into Katsuyu as well to make sure everyone is safe and healed in the battle. Naruto creates shadow clones to stand with all the squadrons as he himself goes into KCM to begin to sense out the Akatsuki. As he does this, Kurama speaks to him, asking how he plans on fighting a squadron who are all made to kill him. To this, Naruto smirks. Because my friends are all by my side every step of the way. Even you, Kurama. Although Kurama scoffs at Naruto being his friend, he's warming up to him bit by bit. Immediately, all of Naruto clones disperse, alerting everyone that the Akatsuki are here. From the sky, Conan and Deidara fly in, throwing bombs down. From atop of Deidara's clay bird dies the animal path, uses summoning jutsu to teleport the other 5 paths to his location, as they all stand facing Naruto and Jiraiya. Kisame, Sasori, Kakuzu, and Hidan all begin to arrive from every side, as everyone prepares to battle like mad. Conan tries to dive down and help the passive pain, but stops when she's surrounded by ice mirrors. This makes Conan smirk as she looks to see Haku's images all over. Haku dives in going to stab Conan. When the blade collides, she turns to paper, placing paper bombs all upon Haku. In an explosion, all the ice mirrors vanish as the actual Conan begins to fly nearby, watching the detonation. There stands Haku on one of his ice mirrors, with nothing but his clothes scathed. He quickly rushed into an ice mirror, getting the explosive notes stuck on them, before they killed him. It did break up the sword though. Using ice release, Haku makes an icy breeze flow over her, making her paper wings become stuck. Haku then makes the ice shatter, not prepared for Conan to simply grow more wings. She rushes at Haku and stabs him in the ribs with a paper blade, grinning as she does this sadistically. Haku grows his curse mark over his body as he grabs her by the neck and uses the hilt of his sword to cut her arm a bit. As Conan leaps back, the blood affairs on Haku's sword begins to make it regrow. This sword was given to me by a very important man, and I failed him, so I can't let Naruto die either. Conan sort of relates to Haku, but that's not important now. She can't fail her important person either. Haku and Conan go back and forth in a repetitive battle, since their movesets aren't exactly unique. Suddenly, Conan feels something and realizes she has to go. Her body breaks apart into paper as she blows away in the wind, leaving Haku 2 battle damaged, unable to follow. Not far away, Deidara begins to take down almost everyone in the sky using his bombs. The only person who's struggling against is Sai. Due to his ink beast as well as Sai's strength he got after 2 years, he's able to keep up with Deidara fairly well. Deidara uses C2 to keep up with Sai, however his landmines aren't working for 2 separate reasons. Sai is using his ink bird to fly, and ink snakes to push the mines as far down as possible for them to explode without hurting anyone. As they fight, Deidara begins to monologue as he does. Your use of art is pretty impressive, but true art is an explosion! He begins to eat clay and uses C4, hitting a couple remaining members of the other Sky Squadron, as well as Sai. He watches with laughter as they all begin to explode on a molecular level. In his gut, he feels a piercing sharp pain as Sai stands there, having managed to use an ink clone at the right moment. Art is what gives people true happiness. Deidara's bird explodes on both Sai and Deidara, not doing damage to either, dropping both to the ground. Going for broke, Deidara begins to use C0, not wanting anyone to live, but his hands and legs are all apprehended by numerous ink snakes from Sai. He's been trained his whole life to be an effective assassin, so he knows not to let your opponent do anything that can hurt the mission's goal. From behind, as Deidara screams, Sai grabs his sword and decapitates Deidara, grabbing his blonde hair and throwing it into the crevice of the explosions. Hidan would have a similar brawl with Asuma, however with so many more shinobi around, as well as Kakazu not being around, the immortal is taken down very quickly with decapitation. They believe it was very easily handled, even when they see Hidan alive, constantly smirking and telling them that he'll kill them. The Akatsuki are prepared, however, as Hidan was taught something useful. He says some words in what seemed like a foreign language, and suddenly from the stump of his neck, tendrils shoot out just like Kakazu's and reconnect his head to his body. Kakazu had prepared some in his body, knowing Hidan would fail and Kakazu would be unable to help since he's busy fighting off other shinobi. Hidan begins fighting yet again, with everyone trying to strategize a way to defeat him. So they don't know how to cancel out the tendril jutsu, or how to make his immortality stop. Shikamaru hangs back with Ino and Choji as they spectate Asuma's battle. Sadly, they're unable to save Asuma as he succumbs to Hidan's jutsu and ends up getting his heart pierced. Enraged at what he perceives as his master's death, Choji goes into his pocket and places a pill in his mouth. He launches at Hidan as butterfly wings sprout his back and he grows giant. His fist inflates as Choji punches the immortal over and over. To make sure he can't escape, Shikamaru catches him in his shadow possession as Choji begins pushing him further and further down to a crater, leaving him a bloody mess. When far enough down, a couple other shinobi come in using earth jutsu to cover the crater, filling in the hole, listening as Hidan laughs up until the end. This pain was merely nothing but pleasure to him. Team 10 surround Asuma as he passes out. Ino looks at Katsuyu, asking if Asuma will survive. The slug tells him that's 50-50 right now. Then the smartest decision in that moment, Shikamaru tells them that they all need to go help everyone else, and so everyone breaks apart and scatters to help the other teams. As this occurs, not far away, Obito stands on a building rooftop. He looks to see Hidan's defeat, and smirks. I guess Sasuke was right after all. The Akatsuki will fail. But guys, that's our video here. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below to happen in the next act. That'll come out tomorrow for Act 2, and then Act 3 will come out... What day is it? It'll come out Saturday. So be prepared for that. There'll be no light goal until Act 3, because then Episode 7, you guys get it. And yeah, bye!